This is Take 5 with Bentley, Nevada. In the studio again today with me is James McDuffie, Senior Staff Software Architect. And James, you're focused right now on cybersecurity very much throughout the whole organization.
Yep.
But a lot of emphasis in the business right now on the new Orbit 60 platform because it is the flagship monitoring system of Bentley, Nevada. And of course, that's a huge part of what Bentley, Nevada does. Let's talk now a little bit about cybersecurity as it pertains to Orbit 60. And it sounds like you turned to Microsoft when you were in this mode of defining, what really describes a highly secure device. And it sounds like Microsoft's done a pretty good job of putting together the 7 attributes that describe that.
Yeah, so there's a research paper done by Microsoft called The 7 Properties of a Highly Secure Device. And among many other things, including 62443, which is an ISO standard that we also looked at, is really just trying to understand what it means to make a cyber secure device in the industry to begin with. And there's a lot to go into a device. It's not just put a couple pieces into it and make those secure. It's really from the nuts and bolts. How do you go from inception to conceptual design to manufacturing and building something that is highly secure? And when you looked at the rest of the industry, Microsoft had a really beautiful study. And the study really just kind of talks about if you have a hardware root of trust, if you have a updatable security, if you have a secure communication, and most things that are in the industry that have been hacked only meet 2 or 3 of these 7 properties. And so as we started digging into it, it was really our goal to make sure that across the board, we hit every single one of these 7 properties, as well as meeting, all the hardest core standards when it comes to, what the industrial standards are around cybersecurity. So it's not just this Microsoft report, but it's also understanding what a secure device looks in the industry and what the industry expects out of a cybersecure device. And that's also been a huge change in our process, in our development, in how we do manufacturing. It's really been an organization-wide change, understanding what that looks like, because it's just, cybersecurity isn't just one thing, and it's not a destination, it's a journey. So it's how many of these things can we hit as a part of release 1, and how many more things can we hit going forward, and not just in this particular product line, also across Bentley as a whole. So what does cybersecurity look like for Bentley, Nevada going forward? And, we've done a good job in the past around some of our other products, but this one is really just hyper-focused to really just set the highest possible standard for our company and for what we think can set the standard for the rest of the industry.
Well, as I think about what Darren Evans had to say, we had him in the studio for quite a few episodes, was cybersecurity was absolutely at the top of the list in terms of what customers wanted in a next generation platform. What I heard you just say is companies taking a very holistic view from the manufacturing floor to the code that's written to the probably even supply chain and all of those kinds of things. You're serious about cybersecurity, and Orbit 60 is it a stretch to say it's really the first product that Bentley has developed from the ground up that was saying cybersecurity as opposed to kind of making it a retrofit after the fact?
No, I would say that we've been focused on cybersecurity for a number of years. It's just, what does the industry consider cybersecure has shifted, right? So having a password here, like if you look at our 3701 platform, we encrypt some stuff, we password protect some stuff. If you look at our System 1 platform, we do a good job of encrypting data between background services. So no, I would say that we've definitely had cybersecurity on our mind as a company and as an industry. But to your point, this is definitely where every single aspect of this product, not just 1 or 2, is really just hyper-focused around how we can make it the literal most secure product that we've seen in the marketplace.
Well, also, when you think of System 1, it probably dates back about 20 years.
Sure.
And 3701, I don't know, maybe
10.
2009, 2010 time.
Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah. Cybersecurity might have been kind of a glimmer in somebody's eye, but it definitely wasn't like the number one priority on the users,
absolutely.
on the customer user requirements. But what I'd like to do is dive down a little bit deeper into You mentioned the ISO spec 62443. Talk a little bit about some of the different aspects of the platform, the config environment, the ability to communicate with the outside world, the automation systems, and then talk a little bit about communication to Bentley Nevada System 1 software and all the cybersecure implications of those interfaces. So we'll save that for the next episode,
Sounds
or
good.
3 or 4. You've been listening to Take 5 with Bentley Nevada, a Baker Hughes business. We'll see